What's going on, guys? My name is Shoki. This is a God of Death. This is an epic pose, and this is Master Grade Monday. Let's hit it. Alright guys, so on this Master Grade Monday we are continuing on with the Master Grade Gundam Endless Waltz line. And of course, as we saw in the live stream last week, we are working on the Deathscythe, which is of course the not Deathscythe Hell version from the movie, but the thing that came before it apparently. So from the Endless Waltz manga, this is that version. So not quite the TV version, not quite the movie version, something in between, and it's pretty cool. I like this thing. I like the colors on it. And, you know, even though it's not the super dark, like, deathly thing like it is in the Deathscythe Hell, it's pretty cool, though. I like it. And let's go ahead and take a look at the box real quick. You know, this it's one of the small MG boxes. It's kind of annoying because it's hard to frame it realistically, like a little behind the scenes. The big box, at least, it takes up all the space. But here, you got lots of white on either side. It's kind of annoying. Also, it's nearly impossible to get this box to be upside down on purpose. I mean, somehow find the box upside down at the end. Okay, but let's go ahead and look at it. So we got the MG logo up here. We've got a Gundam. I give up. I give up. They just cannot possibly leave it alone. So where we could actually read it. Endless Waltz logo there, and actually we got a great shot of the Deathscythe here with his beam scythe just rolling right through there. I love this thing, it's just cool. And you come down here and you get the Wing Gundam, the Endless Waltz version. I need this version, it's the only thing I don't have, and he's cutting whatever that particular suit is in half. I know what it is, I just don't know the name of it. And you got Bandai 2010, made in Japan, Bandai logo down here as usual. Sorry. And we'll come over to this side where we get the obligatory front and rear view. That is so beautiful. And I like the fact they went different. So he's got the sides going down that way, and here it's mounted on his back as it should be. Come over here and you get Gundam Deathscythe XXG01D. Deathscythe. Of course it is. Then you get the cool poses here. Let's see here. We got action. Yay. Buster Shield. Yay, cool. It's a thing. Three is a leg. It does leg things with arrows. Figure. It has a little duo Maxwell. I didn't keep it. Sorry, guys. I like the fact I do have the big old braid. That's a lot of tiny painting. I'm not big on that. Sorry. Ha, puns. And then we have markings. Yay for markings. Did not actually put markings on it this time, guys. Or will not put markings on it this time, guys. Either way, let's go one direction here. We'll go this way. Ha ha ha. Okay, so we get the MG box logo there, Endless Waltz, and of course, text you can actually read. I love that that looks like it's glowing. That's just beautiful. I like it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, guys. Oops, I'm going to drop that. And you come over here, and you get some nice shots of it with the wing. And you got OVA, so it turns from this to that. Yay for that. And then, of course, you have all the ones from this series there. And you get the great shot of all of them there. I love that artwork there. And, of course, that's from the movie right there. And that's where he does his, like, little monologue right near the end for the final battle there. And, yep, 3,800 yen, so 40 some odd dollars. Thereabouts is so much I paid. You got DPP. You got a don't stick a Deathscythe in your face. It will hurt. And nippers are probably needed, I think is what that means. Don't really care. And you got Finish Works by Art Presto and Yam 2. Yay. CG Works by Eto Koji. That's awesome. You guys do great work. But the God of Death is upside down. Yeah. That's crazy. I like the fact that, you know, it shows him using his scythe here, but Wing is the one cutting someone in half. That kind of defeated their own purpose there, I think. But, oh well. It is what it is, guys. Let's go ahead and get this thing built and start that build montage. Alright. Now we've got that done. This thing is so cool. I will admit that, it's a wing master grade, so I get a little bit antsy when I'm building them. I get a little anxious thinking that maybe it's going to have some issues. Something might break. Now, during the live stream the other day, I believe it was Steffi brought this up. The main reason my old ones broke on me was because of using the Gundam marker to paint the frame. Because the frame is ABS plastic, the particular paint will actually weaken and break down that plastic. So, it's always been my fault. It's never been a fault of the kit, but apparently, if anybody else has experienced that, odds are they did the same thing I did. So you got to be careful. It is a warning that there are chemicals in certain paints, certain types of paints, that can in fact weaken and break the plastics down, guys. You gotta kind of be wary of that. Now, all that aside, this was a really fun kit, really cool one, and it's just that much different than the rest of them. Every one of them, while the frame is the same and a lot of the build comes together very similarly, they all have their own quirks, I guess. Their own little things that make them them, And I found this to be a pretty awesome epic pose. It's actually more like that. So it's kind of a classic anime pose. I wanted him holding the scythe way back like that, and the Buster Shield doing its thing right here. I just think it looks great. And anybody who was thinking this thing is black, it is not black. It's a navy blue. Even the Deathscythe Hell is not black, with the exception of its wings. But we'll look at that here in a second. But this thing is really, really cool. I really do dig it. Now, it's going to be hard to see under these lights the actual color of that. Like I said, it's navy. It looks a little darker here on camera, but it's just kind of the exposure. But actually, that's pretty cool. You can actually get the nice reflection of the crotch camera there. No one's ever been able to answer why it has a crotch camera. It just does. So, let me get him kind of in a better straightened out pose here. Now, mind you, I'm still wary of moving any of the joints around because they're super stiff. Mind you, they're brand new, so it's not that bad, but I'm always wary of moving around very stiff kits. Now, unlike one of the other ones, I think it was Heavy Arms, this one's shoulders move very well. But much like all the other ones, it has issues with the skirts popping off, especially these back ones. They don't want to stay on. Let's see here. That's a little bit better. I dig that pose. And just kind of, yeah. I like that. So, before we get too much further, let's go ahead and compare him to his future self. And as you can see, there's obviously going to be very, very extreme similarities. For the most part, his body is identical. Like, everything until you get to the shoulders and the forearms is identical. Everything else is the same. The backpack is, of course, going to be different because you're not going to get this weird kind of over-the-shoulder thruster intake dealy that this one has. Of course, you get the ridiculous backpack. And, maybe we're going to play around later at the end of the review and do some fun custom works. But I was having a discussion with my good buddy the other day. He came over and looked at this, and I said it would be awesome if the Hell version, instead of just these cool spiky forearms, actually had twin Buster shields that could open up and do that. But in this color, I think that would look really, really cool. But this is, you see the stark contrast here between the mostly white Gundam color for the earlier one to this thing being this dark gray and purple. Not to mention he changed the bright yellows for reds on the new version. It's just really cool. And of course, this one has all the markings on it. This one does not. I will be putting all the markings on this one, along with any of the ones that I've built so far that all need the markings. I'm going to do a video on that later on, just to show off the differences. I want to see that and show you guys that later on. But that's it for the Deathscythe Hell comparison. So let's move on. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories, guys. Realistically, he doesn't have a whole lot, because he doesn't have guns, he doesn't have beam sabers or anything like that, but of course he has his big, ridiculous scythe of killing things. Now, I do wish that this was the kind of weird in-between TV version that was the double-bladed beam scythe. I don't think we'll ever get that, at least not in an official capacity, but this one is still cool. It's exactly the same thing that the Hell comes with. The only difference is I didn't paint this one. You know, I didn't add all kinds of different colors and silver and all that. It even has the exact same beam blade, which is pretty cool. It does just plug in very nicely right there. Focus! There we go. So that's nice. I love that. And of course, just as before, it's kind of a pain to slide that in there. You have the groove essentially going down the entire length of the handle, and it will just go into the hand as it usually do. Kind of just pull the thumb up and out of the way. In this case, because of how slim the weapon is, you can actually insert it into the hand that easily. You don't have to fight it. I wish I'd put that one notch higher, but that's okay. It looks pretty cool. He holds it really well. I like it. I gotta turn the leg just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And of course, you have his Buster Shield, because Buster is a thing that happens. Now, personally, I didn't know he had this. I did not know this was a thing until, of course, I built the kit. Now, you can remove the beam blade. It's pretty cool. The only thing that connects it is just this little kind of tab right there. And it goes in that little notch right in there. Otherwise, it's just a nice little shieldy shield. Like so. Isn't that nice and pretty? I like the alternating colors between the gray, the white, and the blue. And of course, you gotta have the yellow, or the almost orange, as it really is. And just like all the other wing kits, he does just have the big tab for putting things on here. So realistically, guys, if you have any of these Endless Waltz kits, you can swap any of the arm weapons if you want to. And realistically, you can swap all the backpacks because they have the same tabs. The interchangeability on these has got to be explored a little bit. So you can have this guy with the heavy arms guns if you really want to. Or, well, you can have him with a whole lot of things if you really want to. But the thing is cool. I like it. Details are very, very nice. Now let's get the accessories off of him again. And we'll take some closer, images. We'll just take a closer look at him. Check out some of the details. Now, of course, like all the other ones, I'm not going to bother showing it off. He does come with multiple hands. So here I have an expressive hand because he's not holding anything in his left hand. And here I have the standard hand. If you put two of the hands with the tabs on, you can do the nice wide pose where he's holding the scythe like so. But I like this expressive hand on here. I think it's pretty good. But let's see if we can get a closer look. I'm going to raise my camera up just a little bit to master grade level. Now you do get a really, really cool detailed head. I love these big yellow vents kind of on the side. Why aren't you focusing? There we go. So I like that. Get some good pan lining there. Now I will say his head, if you guys were watching the live stream when I built it, the head went together really weird. I don't know what to think about it. It was just, it threw me off a little bit. It was actually giving me a little bit of difficulty trying to get the pieces to sandwich properly. And of course you do get your foil stickers for the camera, front and rear, and you get the foil stickers for the eyes, and you get the foil sticker for the crotch camera. Someone tell me why there's a crotch camera, and only on this one. I don't get it. Really don't get it. Yeah. But, you can really see up close here. You can tell that that's a navy blue now. You don't see the black. So once it's back here, it looks more black. You get it up close, you can see it's more of a navy. I like the big yellow chest vents. I like that. The cockpit is right here. I don't know the best way to open it, to be perfectly honest. If I can get in there. I think that's how it hinges. Yeah, there we go. So I can actually get this one open. Now the cockpit is right inside there. I do not have a little bitty dual Maxwell in there. I'm sorry, guys. Now, I really do dig these big old shoulders. What I don't dig about them is the nub marks. You can see right there. So that's not pretty. Now, I tried to clean them up as best I can. It's not good. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. This is probably the best one. You just almost don't see it at all. So, it is what it is, guys. You can't really help it. Now, this one, like I said, for some reason, the shoulders want to work and rotate just fine. Maybe they're not shoved on all the way. I don't know. There's a thing. I mean, I can get him to do his shrug like he's supposed to do. You can get the shoulders to actually rotate around. I don't even know. It's a thing. And it actually wants to work. For once. It's wonderful. He's got these little thrusters, I guess, right here underneath the shoulders. I added a tiny bit of silver paint there just to highlight those, or else they would just disappear. You got these little nubbins, or whatever the heck they're supposed to be. Added some silver there. With the thrusters, I just added a tiny bit of silver around the edges and the gold inside of the verniers. And he does have this cool little feature right here. That is to hold the scythe. And I do believe it pegs on right there. There's a very specific set of grooves. So now you can peg that on there like that, and he can be like Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. But it's a really nice storage option that you don't get on the Hell because of the backpack. But it's pretty cool. I do like that. Let's see, what else do we got? I didn't do a ton of detail work on this. I just did minor ones. So to make it fit in with all of its brethren, just a little bit of silver right there on the weird knee joint covers. I do like that. That's just good. And then these big old vent looking thingies up here, just add some silver paint. It's a little sloppy. I don't care. Because, I mean, the end result is just a big intake, supposed to suck in air probably. So it would get dirty from time to time. And for something with so few panel lines, I feel like it was kind of a pain for some of them. Where it's like, it just needed a lot of cleanup. But this thing is, it's very clean for the most part. Obviously I missed a thing right there. It happens. I will say this, the side skirts, especially the rear ones, they fall off very easily. I pointed that out earlier, but look, it took no effort. Look, just, okay, this one wants to hold on a little bit. There. Takes nothing. Takes nothing to pull those off. I really don't dig the way those clip on. It's just not happy. They're not very secure at all. But, you know, it's a thing. It happens, I guess. It just doesn't really clip. It's sort of sitting there, and you can see it wants to spring out of place every time I clip it on. Maybe it'll stay. I don't know. Now for articulation, it's the same basic articulation as all of them, but I will show something I did to this guy. Now the head, you can't really go, I guess you can't go all the way around. The collar back here, I actually trimmed a good amount off of that to get a little bit more articulation, because he couldn't move his head that much. It was actually sort of stuck looking down for the most part. So I trimmed it up so he could actually kick his head back a little bit higher than normal. And he does have the same kind of neck joint with the ball peg up here and a hinge at the bottom. So he can turkey neck with the best of them. And I just showed he can go all the way around. It gets a little wonky, but he can do it. His shoulders, you're not going to go all the way around easily because of the backpack, but these things do move. So he actually can go all the way. Okay. And this is another complaint. That comes off too easy. So the little tabs that hold the shoulder on, or shoulder armor on, I should say, they come off very easily. But you can just sort of tab it right back on. I may have to glue that whenever I do the stickers, or the decals, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you get the outward movement, so like that. You get a very good hi teacher. Hi, my name is Deathscythe. I don't know why I always do that voice when I do the hi teacher. I don't get it. He does have the double jointed elbow, he should have. So you get the upper bend right there, and then the lower bend right there. The upper bend is the one that continually breaks on me, guys. So it is what it is. Or was it the... I think it's the upper bend, yeah. So he can get about that much angle out of it, which isn't bad by any means. He can actually do some movements. He can move like a robot. Yay. And... shoulder came off. Okay. So guys, this is what happens. You just kind of peg the shoulder back on, like so. And he does actually get the shoulder shrug. So without the armor, that's how much the shoulder actually will move, in case you're wondering. And he does get the wrist movement, so it is just a ball peg. So you can rotate at the wrist. But you also get this nice downward swivel where that little wrist armor moves with it. That's pretty cool. I like that. And the thumb does thumb-looking things. He does have an ab crunch right there in the middle. Very nice little ab crunchy crunch. I'm not about to try to rotate him all the way around. It'd be not worth it because his back skirt sits too high, but he can rotate a bit. He can rotate enough for posing purposes, so you can get a good shot there. Hold on, let me do the reaching out. No, don't go. Yeah, it is. And actually, I'm thinking the bicep wasn't Oh, I totally forgot to talk about the bicep. This bicep wants to rotate, unlike the previous ones. I don't know what it is about this one. This one wants to function properly. Yay for functionality, guys. Alright, so we got hip skirts that do hip skirting things. Plus, I love these skirts. Just, I think the Wing Zero Custom has very similar side skirts. Maybe that's why I really dig them. But I love the shape, the layeredness of it. And when I did it on the Hell that is over here, I did a little bit of side detailing, painted the bottom on a different color, stuff like that. So the front skirts do move around a little bit. They're on a nice rocking hinge and ball joint, so we can actually get the hips to come forward about that far before it pops off. So that's another problem. I think I'm going to glue those on too, just like I kind of did with the Hell. Thought that was mostly repair, not efficiency. So there we go. And like I said, you may not get a good Jean-Claude out of this because those don't go. Plus these hips are very stiff, so I'm really careful. I want them to stay stiff for posing purposes, so I don't want to overwork them. Now I gotta stick this guy back on, and it's surprisingly difficult because it's only a couple little tabs, and it's hard just to get it. Like it just doesn't want to. See, look, now that's popping off. So some of the QC issues are just maybe with little bitty fitments of things. So I might glue all these layers together so they fit better. And everyone's is probably gonna be a little bit different, but that's the problems I'm having with mine, guys. So we got upper thigh rotation. It's limited by the way the armor is designed, but that's okay. There's a weird crease issue going on here with the gaps. Also, don't dig the way the back just suddenly has this extra bloop sticks out like that, and just design issue. Don't really dig it. Now, when you do the knees, you do get double jointed knee. It's very nice like that. Now, like the big spiky knee armor, I just wish it would move. Like I feel like it's supposed to move a little bit, but it really doesn't. I mean, it goes with the joint, but I feel like the blade should move. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Ankles, you got a multi-layered, double-jointed ankle-y thing going on here. It's pretty good. I like it. You get some good rock. You get toe point to a degree. Where is it? There it goes. Okay. So you get the front of the foot point, and you get some toe movement here with the big, very pointy toes. Be careful. You might hurt yourself. Although this does not help you in posing. I tried it. It won't stay up on that particular little toe point. And there went that stupid back skirt again. Just completely popping off. We need to thicken up that joint or something. I don't know. But that leads us to the last tiny bit of articulation, which is on the backpack. So we've got thrusters that can move. So these are all on ball joints in and of themselves, so you could point the actual vernier if you really want to, but they're a little bit loose, so don't want to do that too much. Now you do have these guys that can move independently of each other. Dancing backpack. And you have these little tiny winglets that also can move. Now these will lock into place. They're pulled out just a little bit. So if you rotate and straighten them up, and you can push them back in, and they will lock in pretty nicely there. They got a good tab that locks them in. And that's pretty much it for articulation in details. Alright guys, so now we're going to take a fun look at something I wanted to do from the moment I started building this. Hopefully this goes well and I don't have any issues. So let me see if I can do this. Yep, okay. So that is how the backpack should come off. Now let's see how hard this is. Probably very, if I had to guess. I remember it being a pain last time I tried this. Come on. Come on. Wiggle free. Thank you. Set the Hell aside there. That sounds really funny. Go ahead and squeeze that back together because it looked a little bit loose. And just for giggles, let's go ahead and collapse the wings. I don't think I ever really showed this off in the actual Deathscythe Hell review, but that's how the wings function. Just so you guys know. Now, as you can see, you've got just this kind of square rectangular tab. And I guess the main difference is this one is more or less solid. This one is actually like a clip. So let's see if this will actually plug on. Odds are it will. Ooh, maybe not, actually, now that I look at it. Dang it. Okay, look. You ruined my fun. So you can see in there, there's different tabs that are supposed to line up just for that. But maybe I can squeeze it in just a hair. Probably not. Okay. So I'm just going to hold it there for image sake. So obviously, the Deathscythe Hell wings cannot go on this, ruining my fun. Oh well. So it was worth the experiment, guys. Let's just go ahead and throw the backpack back on there. But oddly enough, this one should work on the Hell because the same size hole, but without the slots. So let's just roll into final thoughts. Sad, choky. And to kind of finish things out, let's go ahead and show him off with the rest of his Endless Waltz brethren. So the Heavy Arms, the Shinlong, and of course the Sandrock. Now, one of these days, I will go ahead and pick up the Wing Endless Waltz version, so I can have all of those all together, and it'd be awesome. But this is a great set, guys. I realize that the older ones, those are the ones I messed up. Those are the ones I broke. The new ones that I've been working on, like this, along with the P-Bandai version that I've done recently, it's been a different experience. It's been a better experience. You know, maybe it's just better because I'm a better builder, obviously. And it's a little bit more enjoyable, especially because I'm not breaking them. And this one in particular, I like the designs, I like the colors, I like the weapons. It's just fun. And plus, Duo Maxwell is probably the coolest of all the pilots. Let's be honest. Not to mention he was voiced by Scott McNeil, one of the coolest voice actors ever in America. That's gonna be it for this review, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the Endless Waltz kits as we've gone through them. There's only one more that I have in my possession, and we will look at that next week, and it is the final Gundam that we have not seen just yet, guys. The sister Gundam to the Zero, and that's what we will take a look at. But until then, guys, remember, if you're new here, like and subscribe. Check out the Endless Waltz playlist. I will link that in the end credits. And as always, keep on building, guys.